Okay, we are on Facebook Live now streaming. I want to welcome everybody. Um, I'm Baba Sharon, and this is for the Anchoring Light Transmission Meditation, which has been going on for 16 years every Monday without fail. So, I want to just remind people that may be seeing this in the first time on their Facebook page. A lot of people know and expect this to happen. We just have a beautiful light worker just came into the Cosmic Center of Spiritual Light. I haven't seen it so long. In the circle, in the circle, in the circle. So good to see you, Jesse. Good. That's fine as long as you're here. So anyway, for those that are on Facebook, many of you will see this later on in your feed. You are welcome that this resonates with you to join in this transmission meditation. We do work with the ascended realms of light. We are consciously aware that we are part of the spiritual hierarchy. I like to say that we are the boots on the ground. Okay, but we are not by ourselves. There's many, many other levels, dimensions of just radiant beings and realities and things like that. And so we're very aware of what it is that we are doing. We're very clear in what we're aligned with, the Ein Sof or limitless light, the original light, that light, not to be confused with any other lights, okay? And also the eternal Father, the eternal Mother, the source, the one, it, unconditional love. That's where we go. Okay, through all the aeons comes down, it comes and connects to us. So we're very clear of our intention. And this is why when we do go into a transmission meditation, we say prayers. We're very clear. We say prayers. This is who we are. This is what we connect with. Nobody else is allowed to come into our circle of light because there's lots of stuff that wants to come in and barge in and cause disruption and chaos and make you doubt yourself. And all I talked about this last week. Okay, you have to remember, you know, are these your thoughts? Because if it's your thoughts as a child of God, as a beautiful creation, as coming from the highest of aeon, we're just in these body wraps, but we are not these body wraps. There's something so much more. And that so much more would only be coming from a place of love, unconditional love, compassion, and understanding. And then the angelics or the ascended masters or the saints or whatever names our expanded family of light, what we call the Amishadai in Hebrew, is the family of light, the Christ light, material light, that light connected to the Ein Sof or the limitless light only comes from love and support and caring and upliftment. So if you get thoughts in your head that's not any of that, it's not yours. It's not yours. And what you have to do, because you can't see it, most of us can, okay, it's an outside influence coming in. Okay, we live in a world of duality, so you have both. You have the good and the bad, the positive and the negative, the up and the down, the right and left. Okay, male, female. So we're not in a balanced creation. I think everybody has figured that one out. It's not balanced. So we are here to bring in the center. Beloved brothers and sisters, we're here as the light workers to like hold the center so the higher light can come in and stabilize that triangle, stabilize, that tetrahedron, stabilize that pyramid so it doesn't go like this, which is what's going on. And it's an extremes right now. And not just extremes in our level of creation in this physical material world. It is extremes on other levels. And so there's a hermetic principle that says, as above, so below, as above. If things are crazy here, what do you think's up there? Chaos is on many different levels going on, but there's a big clearing. There's a great purification. There's a great sanctification that's taking place right now, which is exciting because all the stuff that needs to be cleaned up and purified and healed and balanced and brought into wholeness for us to have the new earth, the one that we envision, the golden age, where people live together, you can have great diversity, but with the understanding it's all one. Diversity is good. That's how creativity comes about. Different ideas. And when you bring together all the different ideas and so forth, it comes with an even higher idea because everybody's participated in the co-creation of that. That is wonderful. But guess what's happening? We're not there at the moment, would you say? In most cases, we're not there. You have governments and they can't even decide on something that they know is good for everybody. They can't because they're too paralyzed. They're not into this integration process of being the neutral observer as opposed to getting involved in the chaos. We, and I say this all the time, we can't get involved in the drama. We cannot get involved in the drama. I repeat, we cannot get involved in the drama. Okay. So what we got to do, somebody in the midst of chaos has to rise above that frequency of polarity extremes. Look at it from the neutral observer. That way, when you look at a neutral observer, you have the balance of your emotions. So your emotions are in balance. You allow yourself the peace and the centeredness that you need in that moment. You could always say, I'll get back to you on that. I have so many ways of how you can stay in your balance when things are in your face. You're like, hold that point. Let me sleep on it. I'll get back to you. It'll come together at a divinely appointed time. I could go on and on and on because I'm not going to fall into the chaos in that moment that's beckoning me to say, come in. And for a lot of people, okay, it's like, it isn't even that they're consciously wanting to do it. It's an energy that comes in and they get sucked into it. It's almost like when they see themselves go into rage or go crazy, it's like they're not even in their bodies, like they're observing themselves going through this craziness. They're not even in it, or they have no control over it. So before that happens, and we've talked on this many, many times, we want to not get caught up in that trap. It's a trap. Okay, so true mastery is when you don't react. That's an easier way to look at it. You don't react, you act. Okay, so in that moment, you may have to act right then and there, but you stay in your centeredness. If you feel yourself getting, riled up, you could feel that the adrenaline is beginning to pump through your body. You begin to feel that you're breathing faster and more shallow. You feel that your heart is beginning to beat more. You're feeling a sense of anxiousness. You know what that feeling is like. You stop and you take a deep breath and you start to breathe deeply. Because that breath, the breath of Brahma, which we have to keep remembering that we breathe the breath of the divine. When you're conscious and aware of it, say, okay, I'm going to take this breath and use it as a tool to balance myself. I'm not going to let the energetics that are surrounding me to pull me into chaos, to pull me into drama. No, I don't have to react. I'm going to breathe, calm the physiology of my body down so I don't start pumping adrenaline throughout my body system, because truly it's a physiological situation because it's body, mind, and spirit. And the moment you can kind of take control of this and move into a higher perspective, okay, of that neutral observer, just kind of seeing what's going on over there, having either a response that's not going to ignite a situation and make it worse, but something that could perhaps calm it down. Or you could say, I need to walk away, or let's discuss this another time, or whatever it is, to not fall into the drama because it's a trap. It so wants you to. And we're bombarded with this day in and day out. Wherever we go, it is an energetic. And so if you become aware that this is an energetic that's trying to trip you up, there's an agenda. There's an agenda. Let's keep them all busy and at war and angry and upset. And that way they can focus on other stuff like the ascension and helping and so forth. So we just have to start using tools, okay, that are smart. Okay, and one of our tools that I wanted to talk about this week was about discernment. So I got to tell, particularly with technology, So we had a situation, which I'm going to share, where a young lady who's a part of the Cosmic Center community car. She had locked her keys in the car. And so she was looking for somebody to say, hey, if you have AAA or something, could some come and help me out? And this young lady has her own history. She is a strong spiritual warrior, has gone through a lot, and sees this as her family because she doesn't have any in a biological sense. So this community is her family. And she sent a group text out to just a small group of people. In that group text, okay, someone who the number, I know that person's number. Okay, I was the one that sent the original text, by the way, went out to 4 people. There was a response that was so out of character, but it came from the phone. And it said, it sucks to be you. And I'm like, oh my God. Now, one thing could happen. Someone could say, oh my God, isn't that horrible what that woman said? Look at her. You think she'd be this, that, and the other. And judge, quick to judge. Boom, boom, boom. Look at that person. This is what she said. That's who she is. That's what's about. Hey, everybody, to hear how terrible this person is. Right? Or you could say, that's out of character for that person. I don't know. How could someone say that? But then again, there's the phone, her telephone number, and her name. So I just said, I'm going to have to see this person, which I was going to plan to see them and make any comment. I just contacted in the group message the lady that needed help. I said, hey, please get in contact with me directly. Okay, and let's see what we could do to help you out. Turns out everything worked out fine. I was going to try to help her, see what we could do. She says, hey, a stranger came by, had AAA, and helped her out. What a blessing. What a blessing. Just like that. I didn't have to do anything. I just had to say, I want to help. Okay. And then it all solved itself. But in the meanwhile now, I get in contact with this person that their name and the telephone number, and I checked it and said, I have to mention this. Did you say this? They were appalled. They were like, oh, of course not. Oh my God. Da, 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 da. How did this happen? So she says, okay, that her phone was in transition of getting a new phone, that some tech people probably had the phone. Somebody might have seen this group message and for fun, say, it sucks to be you when somebody needed help. Now, there's 2 things. God forgive that person who thought it would be fun to cause more pain to somebody, obviously, that was in a distressful situation. But as we know, karma is real. Okay, as I say, karma is only a bitch if you are one. That's my famous saying. But anyway, we don't have to deal with that. Send love and light to that person. You'll find out, justice is mine, saith the Lord. We don't have to worry about that. You'll come and wake up one day and say, it's better to be kind and positive and uplifting than not. But then the idea of discernment was, I got to double check this to make sure it's correct. I don't know. I don't have a correct feeling on this. Or I need to look into this a little bit more before I rush to judgment. Discernment and judgment are 2 different things altogether. Discerning is saying, I got to thoroughly be clear. You got to bring clarity to a situation. Okay, that is when you're discerning. And us as light workers moving forward, we got to trust our own intuition and not the program that's outside, both in the visible world and the invisible world, both. And then you got to double check. And as I said, you may double check and find out things are completely different than how they could have been perceived to have been. We got to do that level now. We can't take anything for granted now because there's too much chatter, there's too much stuff, there's too much chaos, there's too much stuff trying to cause problems. And it's rampant now. And it isn't like we're shocked. We knew this time was going to come. Okay, but then we've been given the tools. The tools. You can say, I'm not going to get involved with, I'm not getting involved in that. I got too much stuff to do. We're here on an assignment to raise the frequency of the planet. You can't get caught up in that stuff. No. You got to be the example. You got to teach by example. So you can't be getting caught up in stuff like that. You can't. You got to be the voice of reason, the voice of wisdom, and the voice of enlightenment. Because guess who people want to be looking to? You. Okay. You. Like, wow, how can he stay so calm? Or he looks like he's, balanced in this situation. It looks so stressful, but yet, wow, I just see him there breathing and using this technique. So he's getting, body works or essential oils or whatever is going on to keep this balance. Or, hey, going into the cave, I'm unplugging for a week. No, a day. I unplugged for a week and a half because the universe unplugged me. I didn't have my phone for a week and a half. Some of you know that. And that turned out to be the biggest blessing of all, because without that distraction, the universe just went ahead and downloaded and upgraded me. They plugged me in. They plugged me back in like the Matrix. So I'm not the same person I was before my birthday last week. I'm a completely different person now, been downloaded, whole different perspective, a whole new understanding. In scripture it says in a blink of an eye. It's true. In a blink of an eye, in a blink of an eye. Be prepared for those in a blink of an eye moments, because they're out there and they're going to come more rapidly and fast, real fast. Put your seatbelts on, stay centered, remember to breathe, remember to breathe. Don't rush to judgment, discern, double check. Baba Sharon here. Namaste. Love to everyone. See you next time.